Oh man, this is so awesome. What a treat. What an absolute treat to finally have this truck on the road. Shows that if you just keep at it, you never give up, and you take a project little by little, one day you'll get to enjoy it out on the open road. It's amazing that 50 years later, happy Saturday, good morning, welcome back to Twin Stick Garage. So in today's episode, I've got a lot of work to do. This is the Saturday before the Let's Go truck show. So actually next Friday, I'm going to be at the truck show, and I got to get the Snowman truck and trailer there, and I got to get my Peterbilt there. And last night, I've been working in the evenings, and last night I wanted to get the Freightliner out of the way, but then I went and tried to start it, and it was no bueno. So I'm just gonna switch these over to the other batteries and give her a little zap and see if it'll go. I don't think there's gonna be enough there. No, not yet. So the shaker's gonna have to sit here just a little longer because I gotta get this thing going. I gotta get Snowman in here to pull the trailer out of the way. And then I was hoping the smell got a little better from last year when I hauled this home from Grand Prairie, and no, it didn't get any better, and I can see why. There's a critter there, and then there's one guy there that didn't quite make it all the way home. So yeah, this truck still needs a full restoration. I guess I better close the doors. I was trying to air it out, but I now realize that the interior door light's going to be on, and that's not going to help matters. Okay, so what am I going to work on today? Well, I got to get like I said, I got to get Snowman out, and I got to finish up on LBL. Home stretch now. There's just a couple of little things left. I've been working in evenings all week here to try and get this truck ready for the show. So just putting the second seat in, and finally I picked up some brass from Fleet Brake. Now, one thing I didn't know is I would put the ferrule over the hose like so, and then I would just put that right on the fitting there. But you're actually supposed to put these little cylinders in there, and it keeps, when the ferrule gets crushed, it keeps it from crushing and potentially pinching off the airline. So you get these little inserts and put that in like so, and then that way the hose can't get crushed. And the reason I discovered that is on my train horns, it already had those fittings in there, those little sleeves in there. So I still got to pull that guy out of there to put the train horn connector on. But once you get her set up like that, it simply goes on the end. If I can get it on there. I guess it's been a couple years since I put this seat in here, so I actually don't need the ferrule for the airline for the seat, because I had this little T-setup deal going. So I got an air gun to blow out the cab, and then this line just slides right into this guy like so. Easy peasy. All right, so on this side I just got the plain line. So I'm going to take this plug out of here that I threw in when I started doing the second restoration, put this guy in, and then I can put the plug, the ferrule, the cap, and then connect it up, and I should have air for this seat. And yeah, whenever you use an NPT threads, the tapered threads here, make sure you use a little bit of thread sealant on there just so it doesn't leak. All right, so I wanted to try and air the seats up, and I forgot, as soon as I aired the truck up, I had air leaking out of here. So I gotta put this up. This is the control for my train horn, which I still need to mount on the battery box, which I'll just mount it in behind there straight down. So here's the two inserts I was talking about. We'll just throw those in there a boot. And then take these two little ends off. Sit like that. And then got the collar. And then all I need to do is put that on there like so and tighten it down. And then this guy just sits down in the mounting bracket, or the stand that I still need to screw into the floor. All right, so for the handle, I like to put a little bit of Loctite on there because this nut tends to back off.
This is my child's gift. Gift to the world.
You know about Tyler Durden? Okay. There we go. Okay, now I just need a train horn. And it's holding air, so we should be good on seats. Mint. All right, now I can go around to the other side and finish bolting that seat in there. All right, now whenever you raise the seat up and you're gonna put your fingers underneath, if you're bolting it in or you're making some kind of change, if you lose air, this guy's gonna scissor right down on your fingers. So always put a block in there to hold it up, just in case. Okay. Now I need to, there's also skirts, Velcro skirts that go around the bottom here to kind of cover up this scissor lift. And I don't know where I put those. I'm sure I set them down somewhere smart, so I'll have to hunt around the shop to find that. And then I also need to connect up the seat belts. So the way these work is they bolt in, so they're obviously hooked into the eyelets at the back of the cab into the kind of the cab frame. And they're going to be holding the seat forward if there's an accident and the seat doesn't go flying out with you in it, because then the seat belt goes from here and up and over your lap. So you're seat belted to the seat, but these guys are meant to hold the seat from coming right out of the front of the truck. And you want to make sure you connect this to the right anchor point, which in this case is the bolt right there. It's got a special bolt that sits through and then can swivel, and you can still tighten it in. And then you want to snug this up, not too tight. You want to have the seat all the way aired up and ensure there's still room there, but you want it tight enough that, of course, if there's an accident, the seat wants to come out, that this will tighten and keep it where it's supposed to be. So I might be able to go just a little bit tighter in there. See, this is the kind of stuff that really eats up the time. So I just finished cutting and buffing the top corner of the bunk and blended all that out where I did that touch up about, I don't know, 5-6 episodes ago. And then I was just gonna put the stainless steel trim. This goes right where the carpet meets the edge of the door. And I don't know, it's looking all tarnished and crappy, and I can't put that in the truck like that. So I just screwed it into the board here. Hopefully it holds it. And I'll just give it a quick buff to get it shiny. Shit. Damn it. Trying to make it better and I make it worse. Oh, that's looking sharp. Beauty, Clark. All right, what's next? There, I gave the mud flaps a little wash. Looking like new. So these guys go underneath the fenders, the front fenders on both sides. And then I've got some other mud flaps that I'm gonna put front and back on the battery boxes there. So I'll get those installed and then move on to the next thing. Getting close now. Now this is a dilly of a pickle here, because that shell fits over here quite tight. Now there's just enough room for the bolt of a carriage head to fit between there, but there won't be enough room for the lid to go over top of the mud flap on the front, on the outside. So then I thought, okay, well maybe I could notch them out. I could notch them out and then put it up on the inside, but then I can't mount it high enough to where it's not dragging on the road. So I think I am going to park the mud flap on the battery box for now. At least I got mud flaps on the front, so hopefully not too much spray goes back on the tanks. And I'm gonna have to noodle this for another day. I mean, I guess what I could do is I could cut about an inch of it off, so that would solve the raising up problem. And then I'd have to notch it out so it would fit up from the inside. Oh, I guess I could try one. There, where there's a will, there's a way. There, now you're all caught up. So as I mentioned, I gotta get the train horns, look at those beauties, mounted on the outside of the battery box. I was thinking something like that. So I'll just mark it out, drill holes, and then the air line is hanging down here. This comes from the tower with the control that I have by the seat. And then this guy just goes in like that into that little fitting. And I should have nice loud train horns. That proved to be a little more work than I thought it was gonna be. So in order to get access where I drilled the holes through, I had to actually take the battery support off and take that last battery out and to have access back there. But now I just about got her wrapped here. So I should be able to air the truck up now and see if this guy makes some noise. All right, let's give that a go. Good morning, Alberta. All right, next up on the list, the shipment finally came in from Rainey's for the little pieces of stainless that I couldn't seem to find in the shop. And now that I bought new ones, and once I get these installed, I'm probably gonna come stumbling across the ones I needed. But that's okay, I'll have extra for my next Peterbilt. So, oh, that's nice. They actually got them pre-drilled. I was worried I was gonna have to drill all the holes. So I guess what I'll do is peel off the plastic, and then these just bolt. I left the bolts in place, so these just go right up in here. A couple nuts, and should be good to go. Well, that's why these truck projects take years to finally finish. Because look at this, I thought this was gonna be an easy job, and for whatever reason, the holes don't line up in the same spot. That's okay, I can drill new holes. But it's hitting the tank, and I can't figure that out for the life of me. I mean, perhaps the tank was a little farther back before, because it's the original tank, and it's the same mount. So I could either move the tank back, but then my OCD wouldn't like the fact that I don't have it evenly spaced. Plus, now the bands have probably made a mark on there. So I think what I'll do is I'll just mark out and then maybe just notch this guy out so it lays flat. over top of the tank. But see, this is why it takes so long. Okay, that was a bit of work, but that looks really sharp. And since it's brand new, I don't have to polish it. All right, like I always say, what you do to one side, you gotta do to the other. All right, I think I'm just about done on the inside here. I just need to put the shifter boots on. And then I can put the shift balls on. Now. Man, it's getting exciting now. I think the only thing I got left is to put the door panels on. Maybe a little more cleaning in here. Okay. Put this guy on. Actually, I should probably put a little bit of, what do you call it, blue Loctite on there, so it doesn't come undone while I'm driving. There, something like that. Okay. Now, where to put the glitter ball? Now the reason you need a nut on there is to kind of turn against the glitter ball so you can line up the Peterbilt logo nice and straight. There. All right, door panels, and then I'm ready to roll her on out of here. Alrighty, getting close now. So before I can take this beautiful truck out on the road, I wanted to just double check the brakes because I got manual slack adjusters. So I'll set all those. I've just aired it up so I can release the brakes and make that adjustment. And then I'll also get my Milwaukee grease gun and finish those last few spots to grease all the way back. And then, oh man, that's gonna need some polishing. Ugh. And then I'll drive it out. So these old manual adjusters, you gotta go down every morning and adjust this nut here. Basically just takes the slack out of it. Takes the slack out of the slack adjuster. You just go till it's tight. And then a quarter turn loose. And then make sure that little guy raises back up again. Might need a little WD-40. Oh, there it goes. So it's locked so the nut can't turn. That's that. Now, put a little grease in. I love this automatic grease gun. Beauty. Okay, so If you recall, a few episodes ago, I was trying to huck the visor on, and I couldn't get the huck gun in there. It was just too tight of a space to get the huck gun on the inside. So I went over to AccuFast and I said, I'm looking for a blind rivet that kind of has when you pop the rivet out, so when you pop this guy out, there'll be a hole there, and then you put these little mushrooms in, and it looks like a huck. It looks like a huck from the outside. So he gave me these, and he goes, "These are stainless steel." And I go, "Oh, they're kind of dull. I think a guy could polish them up." And he said, "I don't know, maybe." So check this out. So there's the before. And there's the after, like a mirror. Oh, that's so perfect. All right, last thing, but certainly not least. Oh, I might as well clean the whole thing. 35, it's 34 and a half, which would be, 15 would be 30, 16, 17 and a quarter. 17 and a quarter. And if you don't know what this sticker is, you need to go and learn a little more about outlaw country music. All right, the moment is finally here. Time to drive this thing out. Oh hell, I didn't do the steps yet. All right, we'll do the steps. All right, so I was thinking, I saw all the votes, and I think the biggest vote was twin stick down low, and then these things actually should say little by little, but I'll put them on there now. I could always peel them off and get new ones made. But I think that looks good down there. Or some people were saying do it like this, like a kick plate. Huh, that's not a bad idea either. No, I think I'll do it. I think I'll do one down and then grip tape on the top. And the reason I say grip tape on the top is because last week when I was showing my younger daughter the truck, so I said, hop up there. So she's sitting in there and I'm standing kind of just in here, and then I go to step down and I stepped on this and I slid off. Luckily I was holding the steering wheel, but yeah, I bit it. So that's a good lesson, good early lesson to make sure you don't leave your stainless boxes without some sort of traction aid on that top step. All right, so you watched me change my mind live. It didn't look right. It just looked kind of cheap with that one up there. I think it's either got to be both grip tape or both those. The only thing is with these boat grips is, well, like two things. It says twin stick garage, which is cool, but it should say little by little. So maybe I'll get some custom grippy steps made with little by little, but they'll work for now. But I'm worried. I mean, even my fingers, I washed my hands and I still got thumbprints on there. So these are not going to stay clean very long. But hopefully I can keep them nice for the show. I'll just step up in socks. So I'll do the other side and then I can drive this truck out. All right, I'm calling this project finished. Hallelujah. Oh. Get some air in the seat here. Oh, okay. Up. There you go. 7 years and 126 episodes later. Little by little, it's finally done. Oh man, that is a hell of a feeling of accomplishment. That is a lot of Saturdays. That is a lot of Saturdays, a lot of busted knuckles, a lot of disposable income. But I have a show truck Peterbilt. Oh man, that's awesome. I gotta take this thing down the road, see what she'll do, and then I'll bring it back and give her a good bath. And she'll be ready for the Let's Go show next week. But oh man, what a feeling. My neighbor behind me is just loving all the black smoke. There she goes. I don't want to be behind him. Wah. Awesome. What a treat. What an absolute treat to finally have this truck on the road. Shows that if you just keep at it, you never give up, and you take a project little by little, one day you'll get to enjoy it out on the open road. Oh, what a treat. Doing motorcycle testing over there. All didn't know you were singing to me. Man, looking pretty good in the sunshine. That's how every truck on the road used to look 40 years ago. Well, maybe not every truck, but a lot of them. Wow, what a beauty. I'll be semi-crazy. Ah, damn lights. Good thing I adjusted those brakes. Today is a good day. Well, there you go. One clean Pete. And that looks good. That is a lot of hours coming together. But I couldn't be happier. And I realized my dream. What was that, in 2017? What did I say when I found this in Sean's field? I'd tow her home, turn it into a show truck. And after all that, I got me a show truck. Man, that's cool. I just can't get over how awesome this truck is. And I got one last thing in the mail that I just put on there. Keep on trucking. Groovy, man. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up there. But I did want to give a shout out to all the wonderful patrons who have been supporting all my builds over these past few years. I think you guys are awesome, and I'm really grateful for all the support. So Alex Crossan, Lasheen, Jeremy Smith, Clint, Clable Withnell, James Smith, Anthony Lamana, Billy Boot, Billy Boutte, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, John Blackman Jr., Jody Nelson, Jordan Kadelbach, Dennis, Timothy Belongi, Roger, and Brandon Reinhardt. You guys are mint. Thank you so much. So that I'm going to wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope to see you at the Let's Go Truck Show next week. I obviously didn't get Snowman finished today. It's the end of my Saturday, so this is about as far as I can go. So I'll kick off Snowman in the next episode, hook on the trailer, and then drag snowman and this blue beauty off to the show. So like I say, hope to see you there. Hope you enjoyed the episode. See you in the next one. And like I always say, don't ever forget, if you got it, truckers brought it.